Hi, hello and welcome my friends to another video. Today we are at Benedict's house. Benedict works for Altair, a jeweler which offers Omega, Takoya, Grand Seiko as well. And today we're going to dive into the Seamaster collection. So without further ado, let's check out in the middle the watches and talk about the whole collection lineup. Benedict, first of all, thanks for having me. We're actually at his living room. And you did prepare a great and interesting overview about the whole Seamaster lineup. So we have here on the one hand the AQUA TERRA in 41mm with a gorgeous green dial, as well a RAILMASTER on a more or less interesting textile dial, Seamaster 300 Diver, Seamaster 300 Chronograph, Seamaster Planet Ocean and the Seamaster 300, the historical watch of the dive watches there. So an interesting overview, but quite overwhelming. There are different models, different sizes, different options or variations available. With this lineup we can help actually or give you a good overview what you could get and also maybe give an advice what you should get, which is the best Seamaster for you. So I would say let's check out first. Let's start with the AQUA TERRA, if you don't mind.
Okay, yeah. That actually constitutes my wrist check as well, because this is my private watch. You forgot the wrist check.
I forgot the wrist check. Let's do the wrist check.
Okay, then I'm going to wear it.
Well, Benedict, what is on your wrist?
Fitting the topic of today's video, I wear the Seamaster AQUA TERRA with this gorgeous green dial that you already mentioned. Really in love with this watch, 41mm, 150 meters water resistance, with the in-house caliber, everything that I want from a watch, both elegant, both sporty, really happy, looks flashy, but also...
Not too much, because you have a nice balance of brushed and polished surfaces.
Yeah.
It suits you very well. 41mm is a sweet spot. I did own the AQUA TERRA before in 38.5. I do have 18.5 centimeter wrists, so it's a nice size. The 41 I would prefer, and yeah, the dial, it's for sure really nice. Really
I agree. I love it. I love it. How about you? What's on your wrist?
To honor this special occasion, I do wear my Omega Speedmaster Professional. It's not the newest iteration, but the predecessor with the 1863 movement inside. So it's a sapphire sandwich. Do have this one since December 2012. So long time in my collection. But also have a closer eye on the Seamaster 300 Diver. Let's see. Back to the AQUA TERRA. This is more like the sport dress watch for everyday carry. Very beautiful piece. RAILMASTER, a little bit more different to the AQUA TERRA. Full brushed case, which is nice. No date. It appears a little bit slim.
It does. It appears small. It's a compact watch. I don't think it's slimmer than the AQUA TERRA, to be honest. I think case dimensions-wise, it's pretty similar. A little more simple. But yeah, the crown is similar. You have this conical crown. You have also a master chronometer inside. It's simple. You described it as like an explorer alternative, kind of. I like it. I think it doesn't get enough love from Omega yet. I am expecting some more updates in the coming years.
If they offer this one with like a matte black dial or blue dial, well, this is like a jeans blue with a nice texture, but a little bit more saddle blue.
Yeah.
This would be a definite great competition to the Explorer. You do have the 12369 on the dial under the radar. It's not as shiny or as blingy as a regular AQUA TERRA. It's a really nice option. And you don't have a sapphire crystal case back.
Correct.
Just a steel case back, which is fine also, because I know a couple of guys who don't like to have actually a glass on the wrist.
I think it's a pity. Like, these movements are so pretty, so I really like to look inside. But fair enough, and I think especially like the RAILMASTER could be the entry into the Omega world.
Makes sense, yeah.
I think right now, I mean, we still have very competitive entry points. For example, with the Diver 300 meters, which is at 4,800 on the rubber strap, which I think is perfectly fair. Like, you have a luxury watch, which is a great entry point, but having this like one step cheaper, I would appreciate that.
Would be a really cool entry-level piece.
I agree, absolutely.
It's interesting to see that we have both colors. On the one hand, the black; on the other hand, the white Seamaster. And the black Seamaster here is on a very interesting strap, I have to say. Didn't see this before. So what is all this about?
I'm a massive rubber strap fan. The white one you're holding is also in my personal collection. I'm really, really happy with it. But many of my clients reached out and said, hey, is it possible to put the AQUA TERRA rubber strap on the Seamaster Diver 300 meters? And I consulted with our watchmaker and it's possible. The lug width is the same, so we were able to put it on there. It is a bit more pricey, this rubber strap, because of the folding clasp and some other features.
But it's damn comfortable, to be honest. So this is definitely a difference. This regular rubber strap, it's nice. It feels very good.
Yeah.
This one, it adds to the watch. It has a nice texture. It has sort of a textile look to it. It's a little bit thinner, I think. And in combination with the clasp, it's special. It feels very good on the wrist.
Yeah.
Looks a little bit more elegant now.
I like the fun part of the Diver 300 meters. I think it feels young, like especially compared to this one. Like I like that. But if you want to dress it up a little bit with this rubber strap, no problem.
Seamaster Professional Diver is also the watch you do sell the most, right?
Yes, that's our top seller in that lineup, definitely. I think because of the value that it provides for the price.
It's a crowd pleaser, to be honest. You get a lot. You do have the ceramic dial, ceramic bezel, interesting movement inside. Also on the bracelet. I'm a bracelet guy, to be honest. I appreciate the rubber strap, and I did purchase also my Avenger on the on the bracelet and added a rubber strap because in the summer it's nice to swap them out from time to time. And it's a very subtle watch. No? You've got great movement, great balanced dial, and a lot of dial option also.
As you say, like this is, you call it a crowd pleaser. I would say it's like a recognizable design. People want to stand out somehow. If you spend this kind of money on a watch and you bring this into your collection, it's something you should identify with. And I think the wave dial, not so much on the black one, but especially not so much on the white one, but more on the black and the blue one. You see it very nicely. It's special. It's nice ceramic. I think the finishing is great. And yeah, as you said, the movement.
And it's interesting, the Seamaster line itself has an interesting history, but I think really famous it became in the 90s with Pierce Brosnan, who were the first new Seamaster 300 divers iteration. A quartz version, which is also worn by Prince William. Diana gifted this watch to him. And since then it became more and more famous. So it's, beside of the Speedmaster, I think the most iconic Omega
for sure
right now. And in terms of the history, it's nice to see that you have also the regular Seamaster 300 there.
Yeah.
And what a lot of guys don't know, the Seamaster is not just there since the 90s, since James Bond. It was there also far earlier. So maybe you can give us background information about that.
So the types of watches that Omega was developing, that started in the Second World War. So in the 40s, when they were supplying the Allies with watches. And through their, they learned a lot in that time. They delivered a lot of watches.
Don't get them wrong here. They were tool watches in those days, but when you see them, it's like a dress watch.
Absolutely.
It's really like a dress watch. And they are really nice or interesting vintage pieces you can get right now.
Yeah, and they're not actually very expensive, and you can bring an Omega piece from the 60s into your collection, or even earlier. That's a really special piece. But what happened then, in 1957, they decided, okay, let's move away from these delicate watches and these dressy watches, and let's bring tool watches to the market. That was the era, 50s, 60s. That's when diving became more popular as well. And Omega presented their trilogy, which was the Seamaster 300, the Speedmaster, and the Railmaster, the old version of it. And there was a beautiful trilogy of sporty watches that they then used to develop these collections and develop these this portfolio. I think was a really, really smart move, and until today they kept the DNA. They keep going back to it, and I really appreciate that about what Omega is doing.
This one is the current iteration. It's not the newly introduced one,
Correct.
But they are very much alike. Okay, with the new one, I think the sandwich style, but in terms of the loom which is used and so on, it's more or less the same or very similar to the current one. Then we've got the Planet Ocean. which is more or less the real tool watch from Omega.
Absolutely.
You can tell from the design, you can tell from the bracelet, it's a lot of sturdier than the other bracelet from the Seamaster is sturdy as well. But it has this 80s look to it, and a little bit more blingy in comparison, direct comparison. So you definitely can tell the Planet Ocean is a tool watch. The Seamaster Professional 300 Diver is more or less a dressed diver. So it's a James Bond watch. Very interesting piece, 600 meters of water resistance. It was really interesting for me to see the different bezel actions.
Okay, this is the bezel of the 300-meter diver. Nice and crisp. I have to say, like, I do slip a little bit with the fingers. Like, it is...
It's not made for dive action,
exactly,
so to see.
Especially in the direct comparison now with the Planet Ocean, which is made for professional diving.
Sounds much better.
And like, I don't slip, like the coin edge, as you call it.
Coin edge bezel, it's more grippy. It's a little bit higher also, you have better grip, you can feel directly the bezel, it's easier to turn. What is interesting for me, you do have also here the newly introduced America's Cup chronograph, really cool piece, and there the bezel action is different to the regular Seamaster.
Yeah, you realized right away, right? Like, I think it's smoother.
It's far closer to the Planet Ocean, I would say.
Yeah, not grip-wise.
But feedback-wise.
Feedback-wise, for sure. It's easier. It's easier to turn it. And that's what you need in the heat of the moment, right? It's made to be used, right? I mean, they introduced this chrono lock as well.
I really thought before they use ceramic for the pushers, but it's like rubber, but it's not soft, it's sturdy. And it plays with the subdial red color and the stop second-hand color. It looks good. It's very interesting. And it feels also good in terms of the pusher action. Didn't expect that, but pretty interesting piece, by the way.
Super interesting. I like what Omega is doing with sailing there. They also introduced the Alinghi Speedmaster last year.
Yeah.
Which was already for an America's Cup team. This is the official America's Cup watch. For the 39th America's Cup, I think. And also here with the function in mind. So the lock, the chrono lock is there, has a reason. So when you start the race at a regatta, you have like the chance to make it to the starting line in a certain timing. So that's why they really had that in mind, and they had the sailors in mind.
So that you can activate it afterwards, lock it, so that you don't have any problem or activate it by accident.
Exactly, or stop it or whatever, right? Like, you just have to set it, forget it, and then you can focus on sailing actually and not drowning with your boat.
Makes sense.
Yeah, but it's a cool piece. 10,000 euros is a lot of money, but again, here you have a great movement inside. I love that it's a bicompax, so the symmetry in the dial.
Imagine this one. Keep the blue bezel, but with a white dial.
Yeah. White or silver?
White.
White dial.
White dial
cool.
with the blue and red subdial.
Oh, that would be cool.
This would be awesome. Omega, if you are listening, this would be a nice watch as well.
That's good. That's
this
a good
would
idea.
be a good idea.
But then we have more variations again. Do we want more variations?
Yes, every time.
Yeah? Okay.
As long as they don't discontinue the others, it's all right. I'm fine with that.
Nice.
Right. So actually a very interesting lineup. So from your experience, for which type of guy you would recommend which watch?
So the majority of people, I would say, will lean towards the Diver 300 meters. Why? I would say it's a long period of brand building on that watch with James Bond. I think that's the tip of the iceberg. In the end, it's the kind of people that wear this watch. And I think it's the watch for like people in their 30s that start getting into watches, that want to give themselves like a nice piece that they will have for a long time in their collection.
Elegant enough, but it's sporty, and you do have actually nice variations. And pair it up with the bracelet, you can pair it up with the rubber strap. I didn't know that you can pair it up with the AQUA TERRA strap, though. This is definitely a bonus. This is a little bit more elegant then. Very interesting price range also, and you get a lot of watch for your money. And you can use for everything. On the weekend, when you do sports, when you are on the boat, when you are scuba diving, but also in the office.
Yeah.
So very nice one.
But as you were saying, I think this one leans more towards sporty. If you do lean more towards dressy, I would say the AQUA is the way to go if you are a daily suit wearer, or if you like to look more fancy maybe. This is your choice.
This is also a nice one-watch collection actually. Absolutely. Because you've got 150 meters of water resistance. It's elegant, but it's not like a Patek Philippe elegant style, but still it's there. Yeah. It feels great to a suit. It feels great to chinos, but also to a jeans. Yeah. And you don't have to worry about this. You don't have to baby it either. So
exactly.
It's very nice.
At least if you wanted to look as used as mine.
Still looks good.
It looks perfectly fine.
Guys, you have to rock your watches. If you purchase one, wear it. Wear the hell out of it. Enjoy it. Don't baby it. It can take a beating.
Very true. Very true. And what I really like about this is like no matter which watch you go for, which design you lead towards, you don't compromise on the movement. Yeah. I'm a big believer in like buy quality movements especially, and that is what's given here. The Master Chronometer is an unmatched movement in my opinion.
It's true.
And I can recommend all of these. If you tend towards tool watches and don't want the design, maybe that's kind of in fashion with the Seamaster Diver 300 meters.
It's less timeless, yeah.
Exactly. Then you can lean towards the Planet Ocean. I think the Planet Ocean is something, it's like it was made with professionals in mind. And that's what some people like. It comes in two different sizes, 39.5 and 43.5 millimeters in diameter.
It looks rougher. It's a rougher sort of watch, definitely.
Still pretty. Still, like, I think straight to the point, and original as well. Like, not kind of borrowing from other designs. Like, they have their own design there. And ultimately, when I decided for the AQUA, I was between the AQUA and the Seamaster 300, which was now released in a new design as well, like with the lollipop secondhand and
sandwich style. I think.
Sandwich style. Really cool. I really like this watch, especially with the history of it, like starting off the Seamaster collection kind of in 1957.
The only watch in the lineup which doesn't have the helium escape valve. So if you're not into that, go for the Seamaster 300, because I know a lot of guys who sort of don't like the helium escape valve. But it's due to the design, right? So that they didn't have to include here the helium escape valve.
It was not necessary, exactly. Yeah. And I think at the time, not even sure if they did saturation diving. But
so nowadays, anyways, no one is going to dive with their watches. Not the majority will not.
I still have the goal to take this guy like down and exploring the oceans, but
this would be an interesting video, by the way.
Okay, coming. Nice, yeah, but I think this is like the overview that I would give. Obviously, we also have the Planet Ocean chronograph, which we don't have here right now, but
it's huge, 45.5 millimeters, pretty thick, but a beast of a watch. But I do like it quite a lot, actually. It's an awesome piece.
Yeah. I'm really happy. I'm really proud that we get to like show these watches to our clients, and that I get to make people happy by adding these watches to their collection. And especially like on the side of the Speedmaster, Omega delivers a lot of value on the Seamaster collection as well. So yeah, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me, Benedict. My friends, I hope you did like this small overview about the Seamaster lineup. Which one is your favorite Seamaster and why? Share this with the community and myself in the comment section below. My friends, I wish all of you now a very happy weekend, a good start into the new week. Look forward to see you in the next one. Say goodbye and auf Wiedersehen. Benedict.
Mach's gut, bis dann.
And Konstantin. See you. Bye, guys.